I had an okay week. Literally, the only reason why I'm keeping the lead still is just because of my wage. Did I miss? I have not missed. Well, I think you haven't either. I think neither of us
I
have.
have.
You missed a wager pick?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
remember?
right, you did. That's right, the Cowboys. That does kill you.
Not gonna lie, I
I'm
don't have
also.
anything really good for the intro.
I mean, both our teams lost. I mean, I guess I would argue yours was worse just because of the no call.
I'll get into that, but like, I mean, there
Yeah,
really nothing interesting happened this week besides that. It was a weird week.
both unbeaten's lost to
Yeah.
really kind of shit games too. Like it wasn't like they lost like in like oh my god this was like a shootout or whatever. Like no, they were both kind of ass games honestly.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nick's Picks Week 7 already. Jesus, we're already at almost the halfway point. The trade deadline is next week. How the fuck are we this far already? Week 7 of the NFL season, and I am joined, as I am always, by Ben. Ben, week 7 of the NFL season is here. Last week really didn't change the score up too much. You're still up by a lot. You actually gained an extra point on me. Fuck you. So you're up by 25 points now. It is 92 to 67 going into week 7 of the NFL season. So how you feeling?
Every week I feel more confident in my picks, but just not the Falcons. But I'll get my grievances when we get to the recap. Honestly,
Yeah, I have my own grievances with the New York Giants, but we'll get into those as well too. But perfect segue straight into our week 6 recaps. It started with the Thursday night game between the Chiefs and the Broncos, and this was very underwhelming. I mean, pretty much what you expected to happen. I mean, the Chiefs won.
they didn't win convincingly, which I go to decent from your fantasy. That's all I really had.
There you go. Going into the Sunday games, our last game in London this year between the Ravens and the Titans. The Ravens went on to win this one, and this was an ugly one. Honestly, if you had Justin Tucker in fantasy, that was great for you. If you had honestly, there was like 8 or 9 kickers this week that had like more than 10 points scored for their team this week. So it was an insane week for kickers. This was just an ugly game kind of all around. But the Ravens go on to win this one 24 to 16. I'll let you talk because I mean, if I talk about Desmond Ridder, it's not going to be fucking nice. So
Trust me, I'm not gonna be that much nicer than you. All I can say is I understand going for 2. Not when you're still down 1 score. You were gonna be down 1 score whether you made it or missed it. I also got so frustrated that you're inside the 5-yard line. Inside the 5 fucking yard line. And you don't have arguably your best player run with the ball.
Flashback to Ben picking the Falcons to finish first in the NFC South.
I still think so because I think this division is dog shit. They will stumble their way to the playoffs, I feel like, and they're going to get their ass kicked.
This was also kind of an underwhelming game. The Bengals went on to beat the Seahawks in kind of a low-scoring defensive shootout, but the Bengals managed to get it done mainly because Geno kind of sold at the end of this game, if I'm being honest. I didn't get to watch too much of it. I watched more of the end of it more than anything else, and there was a couple plays there where Geno looked great, but there was a couple plays where Geno didn't look great at all. I really believed in Gardner Minshew. I really believed that the Colts had this game, and then... Yeah, they did at first. They started off hot. Why isn't Jonathan Taylor not being used? That's what I want to know.
How is it you paid him all this money, you quote unquote treating him right, and you're just not using him?
Right? I mean, I understand Zach Moss is going off, but like, you just paid Jonathan Taylor a bunch of money. Another game that pretty much went exactly how you'd expect it to go. The Panthers continue to put up points every single game, but continue to lose every single game. So, I mean, the Dolphins, they were never going to beat anyway, but 42 to 21, the Dolphins go on to beat the Panthers. The Vikings don't look good without Justin Jefferson. It's amazing to say that like one wide receiver changes the entire dynamic of this offense, but their offense just does not look good without Justin Jefferson. I can't believe I still had the Vikings winning the NFC North. I really thought that like they still had this division. The Lions, we'll get to them in a second, but yeah, no. They don't.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't have the Vikings. I think I had them second still, so I didn't even think they were going to be this bad.
I mean, they're still second because, you know,
everyone else is terrible.
One of the biggest upsets of the week. The Browns go on to beat the San Francisco 49ers with P.J. Walker as their starting quarterback in this game.
Didn't know he was playing.
First of all, P.J. Walker didn't play great at all.
No.
Second of all, I will say this. I do have a Cleveland Browns fan at work who is very pissed off at Deshaun Watson right now because this is an injury where he came back in the game that he got injured, and now he's been out for the last 2 weeks. And it was put out last week that he was medically cleared to play before last week's game. What is going on with Deshaun Watson? I don't think he's very happy with his Browns team right now, or he's just really sad that Nick Chubb is gone. But the 49ers did have a shot to win this game. They just missed a field goal at the end of the game. Purdy didn't look great, and they lost McCaffrey potentially for a little while, and they lost Debo
Also for a little while.
also potentially for a little while. So
all I can say for this game is, because he's on my fantasy team, George Kittle, 1 catch, 1 yard.
another game that went pretty much exactly how I expected it to go at the very least. The Texans go on to beat the New Orleans Saints 20-13. The Saints offense just looks bad, and I don't even understand why, because Derek Carr keeps putting up the yards every single week. They're just not putting points on the board. I don't understand what is wrong with this New Orleans Saints offense. They're just not finishing when it matters. Their defense still looks good and good enough to compete with, the other shit teams in this division. But anyways, yeah, the Saints definitely going to have to pick it up on offense, and CJ Stroud continues his Rookie of the Year campaign. The Raiders went on to beat the New England Patriots 21-17.
Moving on.
Yep, thank you. The Lions went on to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-6. I thought the Buccaneers would put up a little bit more of a fight here, but the Lions, look, we have to start considering the Lions as a top 3 team in the NFC. I mean, that one's almost undebatable at this point, but maybe even a top 5 team in the NFL. They're looking good this year.
I'm bandwagon just because
right.
They're a fun team.
The Giants are 1-5. There's nothing happening for us this year. Go Lions.
Yeah, no, they're a fun team, honestly. There's no one I don't like. They're fun. They're awesome.
The Rams went on to beat the Arizona Cardinals 26-9. The Cardinals just still don't look good at all, and I'm very sad to see that Puka is now basically useless now that Cooper Kupp is back. Come on, keep Puka involved, goddammit. The only reason why I said that the Browns beating the Niners was one of the biggest upsets of the week is because here was the other big upset of the week. The Eagles went on to beat the Jets. I got a tiptoe here. We don't want to offend.
No, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Eagles. No, I'm not. You can. I'm not. I don't give a fuck.
No, okay. Look, all honesty, Jalen Hurts played like ass, and even if you're an Eagles fan, you really cannot debate that. It's just one game. I'm not saying he's ass. Calm down. Yeah. But he played like ass. That's you put it how it is. Zach Wilson didn't play great. The Jets offense didn't play great. They're not winning these games based off their offense. Now there's reports Aaron Rodgers could potentially be back by week 15. So if the Jets continue to win a few games here and there, they can maybe sneak themselves into a wild card game at the end of the year. And the Rodgers comeback story.
Did they say at least 1 or 2 games above 500 before then? Yeah, that's possible.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
I don't know what their schedule looks like those last couple games, but it's still likely.
Want my honest opinions on this game? Here's my honest opinions on this game. Was it a pass interference? Fuck yeah, it was a pass interference. I think even Bills fans at this point know it's pass interference. Here's the thing. Did Tyrod Taylor play better than Daniel Jones would have played? No. Did he play worse than Daniel Jones would have played? No. And that's the problem. The fact that your franchise quarterback and your backup quarterback, you're getting the exact same production out of, not a good thing, especially when that production is no touchdowns at all on offense. Pass interference or not, at the end of the game, we didn't deserve to win if we can't get in the fucking end zone. That's just bottom line. It's just bad play calling. It was, I don't know.
I looked at it as
I want to say, but
I looked at it as both teams really kind of lost that. Neither team really won that.
Right. It was an ugly game all around. Yeah. And we finished it out with the Cowboys and the Chargers on Monday night, in which we talked about who was going to outchoke who. And it turns out Justin Herbert was our ultimate choker of the game, who missed a wide open pass to Keenan Allen and blew 3 potential game-winning drives in this game, completely. So, I mean, you can call it play calling, you can call it whatever you want, but Justin Herbert did not have a great game. Dak and the Dallas offense still continues to not have great games, so it's nice to see that, this division is so much more winnable now that we suck. But with all that being said, that rounded out week 6, and like I said before, Ben, you hold a 25-point lead. What's your biggest takeaways, though, from this week?
Honestly, outside of our teams, I think mainly for that Monday night game was the fact that the Chargers, you have to hit those wide open receivers, and when you don't, you should be expected to lose at that point.
So let's move right into it. Our week 7 predictions. It starts with the Thursday night game that you guys are going to be watching tonight. The Jaguars going up against the New Orleans Saints. And when a Saints team cannot get it together on offense and the Jaguars team is finally starting to get it together on offense, I mean, the biggest problem with this Jaguars team is their wide receiver core is just super inconsistent. But look, they put points on the board between ETN and whoever Trevor Lawrence manages to get the ball to. They're going to put points on the board. For whatever reason, the Saints can't figure that part out. So I got the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Not even just as a Falcons fan. It's just I mean, I don't really have that much more confidence in the Jaguars, but seeing that Saints offense, it's just not good. Their defense is good. That's about it.
Moving on to the Sunday games, we'll just get it right out of the way. The Giants go up against the Commies. I'll actually pick the Giants because the Commies look just as bad. And whether it's Tyrod or Daniel Jones leading the way, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The Commies looked just as bad. Our defense looked pretty good, so I think the Commies might struggle to put up some points. So I'll pick the Giants. Fuck it.
I mean, to be fair, they only scored 20 against a okay Falcons defense. So I mean, I'm kind of with you in the same boat.
The Browns go up against the Colts this week. We agree on this one too. The Browns look okay. They're coming off a win against the San Francisco 49ers, which is obviously their biggest win of the season. But like they have a lot to figure out still on the offensive side of the football, but their defense just looks spectacular. I banked on the Colts last week, so I'm not doing that again.
I'm really just going with the team that has the better defense. Also worthy of note that I think Richardson's either out for the year or he's on IR for a long time.
But Gardner Minshew is a good backup. Like, he didn't play the greatest last week, but they asked a lot out of him. He had 55 pass attempts.
Which is weird for any
a team that's got two great running backs, too. Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor.
And you're throwing
at 50. Yeah. I don't understand it. The Buffalo Bills go up against the New England Patriots. I mean, the Bills are definitely going to bounce back after last week's offensive performance. And who better to go up against than like a team struggling so bad right now where it really doesn't matter how many offensive points you put up because the Patriots are putting up less than 10 probably, just like the Giants did.
Yeah, I mean, this is my wager. I don't see any way the Bills lose this game.
This was a tough one for me. The Lions going up against the Baltimore Ravens. We are both going with the Lions on this one, but the Ravens are the best team in the North at the very least, and they don't look bad by any mean. Obviously, the running game has been struggling here and there ever since they lost Dobbins, but the Ravens have been figuring it out every single week, and the Lions just are, I think, too talented at this point.
The Lions just overall have a more talented team. It's weird to say with a team that has Lamar on it isn't, but...
And weird to say about the Lions in general.
That too, yeah. I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime.
We have our first disagreement of the week, or a real first disagreement of the week. The Bears going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. You didn't happen to know that Garoppolo wasn't out until, prior to this, but like I gave you the chance to change it. You chose to keep it because it's the Bears, and I understand that. But yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, he got hospitalized too. Like I don't exactly know what happened to him, but I don't. Pretty sure he's out. Zero clue who their backup quarterback is. Like,
I thought it was someone named O'Connell. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not gonna act like I know. I just believe more in the Raiders' defense.
In all honesty, it doesn't fucking matter who wins this game anyway. It just matters more for us pick wise. So
yeah,
go Bears.
Go. I don't care.
I hope a few people chuckled for a second when they saw your score down below. I'm picking the Bucks because they're the better team. I mean, it's clear, but you go for it.
No, it's not clear in my personal. I think both teams are trash, but I like Ritter. No, I'm fucking kidding. I hate Ritter. I only like Bijan Robinson, and that's about it.
And they've been struggling. Your run game has been struggling too lately.
He did good the first 2-3 weeks, and then Arthur Smith was like, hey, let's not do what we're good at, and let's throw the ball with someone that hasn't proven that he can throw the ball. He had one great game throwing the ball, and Arthur Smith's like, hey, let's have him throw. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, just wait till you get him a 4-year, $200 million contract.
You know what's sad? That's probably what's going to happen.
The Rams go up against the Steelers this week. I actually have this one as my wager pick because I went back and looked at it, and every time I pick the Rams to win, I get it right. Every time I pick them to lose, with the exception of one time. Every time I've picked them to lose, they ended up winning, or they proved me wrong, or whatever the case was. So I am going with the Rams to win this one, and I am wagering on it because the Steelers, even though they're coming off a bye week, still are not going to figure it out on offense. And even though TJ Watt might cause a little bit of problem for Matt Stafford in this game. Don't care.
Still the Steelers offense led by Matt Canada.
Exactly. The Seahawks go up against the Arizona Cardinals this week. I was going to make this one my wager pick because I don't see a shot that the Cardinals win this game. The Bengals defense have been playing great all year, so I'm not going to take the game against the Bengals last week too much against the Seahawks. But the Seahawks have been playing great for pretty much the rest of the year.
I think they're like fighting obviously with the Rams, who's second and who's third, but like they're not terrible. I'll admit that I vastly underrated them, but
another disagreeing pick. I just can't pick the Broncos. I understand that the Packers have been ass and Jordan Love has been just absolute dog shit, but like so has literally
Denver.
every single player on the Denver Broncos. Besides Cortland Sutton, he's doing okay.
like my score says it alone. I'll talk more about it in my 2-point as to why I have it like this. These teams are both terrible, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a tie. Don't end in a tie because I hate ties, but it could.
Pretty much the game of the week, or at least in my opinion. I know the Chargers didn't play great last week, but neither did the Chiefs. And originally we did both have the same score for this game. I'm going to be honest about that. I changed my score prior to recording so that we wouldn't have another same score, because I need to start getting some score predictions here. And if I get a score prediction and it happens to be one where we shared a score, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm also going to be pissed if this ends 30-27. I'm going to be very pissed.
If that actually happens,
I'm going to be very pissed. But anyways, yeah, we both have the Chiefs winning this game. We both have it at a narrow 3-point margin. If the Chargers have a shot at this game, they're going to choke it.
And it's mostly their defense. Like I saw something like their defense is like in the fourth quarter alone is like one of the worst, and it's like doesn't surprise me, honestly.
All right, another disagreeing pick. The Eagles going up against the Dolphins. And honestly, after seeing last week, and I completely understand where you're coming from on this, I also can see the Eagles coming back very, very, very strong after a loss like last week, an embarrassing loss like last week, specifically Jalen Hurts. If anyone's mad about last week, it's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come back strong. I think the Eagles' offense is going to come back strong. They're going to have to, because the Eagles' secondary is not good at all. And Tua and the Tyreek Hill are going to torch this Eagles secondary.
All I can say is I forgot the exact number, but Tyreek Hill right now has like I think like 850 yards receiving.
It's week 7.
It's week 7.
He's ridiculous.
That's all I need to say as to why I have Miami. Not because I believe in Tua more than Jalen. I do think Jalen will have a better game, but I don't think anyone can cover Tyreek at the end of the day.
And the week finishes out with the 49ers going up against the Minnesota Vikings. The 49ers are banged up. That's true. They're without McCaffrey. They're without Deebo Samuel. It's just going to be Brock Purdy and George Kittle leading this offense, trying to get something going. Here's the thing. They're going up against Kirk Cousins in primetime without Justin Jefferson.
Last time it was in primetime, Kurt had a good game. He had a really good game.
They still lost.
But it's still the Vikings. It is still the Vikings at the end of the day.
And we finish it out. And we finish it out with the 2-point conversion. I'm going back to that. Actually, sorry, that's your 2-point conversion. I was about to say I'm going back to that Packers-Broncos thing. I'm going back to the Raiders and the Bears. This is going to be absolute shitfest. If you watch this game, I am sorry. If you don't fall asleep watching this game, I will be shocked, because I don't think either team eclipses 200 yards of total offense in this game. That's my 2-point. There's I don't know who the fuck the quarterback is for the Las Vegas Raiders. I know Justin Fields got hurt.
I want to look it up right now. Honestly.
Justin Fields got hurt too at some point during the Bears game last week. I don't know the extent to his injury. I don't know if he's going to have a chance of playing this week. Yeah, if Justin Fields is out, neither team is definitely getting over 200 yards of offense.
Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer?
Yeah, Brian Hoyer, I think, finished out last week. But
well, from one stinker game to another stinker game, because I don't believe in either of the Broncos or the Packers. So much so that I think combined, neither team will score over 30 points combined. Like, between the two teams, it'll be less than 30 points. So if you're betting the under, I would do that, because I don't think either team has an offense. Granted, I don't think either team has a defense. I don't think they have anything.
Packers are supposed to have a defense. I don't know what the fuck is happening this season.
So are the Broncos.
Fair.
So are the Broncos.
So that is it for Nick's Picks Week 7 of the NFL season. If you guys like this video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us over on Twitch, follow us over on Facebook, because we post all the notifications over there. We're live on Twitch almost every day. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say almost every day. I've been skipping a lot more days lately than I should be, because there's a lot of editing and, you know, the other stuff that we do here. But regardless, follow us over on Twitch, because there's a lot of great live content over there. Ben, stop being so good at Nick's Picks this year. Finally, like after 3-4 years, you're finally deciding to be good at Nick's Picks. I need to start catching up. But is there anything you want to say before we head out of here?
I think it's just the fact that I'm in a new environment, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Just change of scenery, maybe.
But I hope you guys enjoyed Week 7 of Nick's Picks. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace. I just want to say, I feel like I finally had my good year. Like, the Giants had a good year. It was the first time in Nick's Picks that either team had a great year. And now, here we are again, depressed all the time about our teams. I feel
What's
like
sad is that I think Atlanta's like 500, and I'm still depressed. Like, they have more wins, but, like, it doesn't feel like it.
and the Giants' one win didn't feel like an actual win either, because it was against the Cardinals, and we had to come back from, like, a 20-point deficit twice.
Our teams are just terrible for some reason.
This is not a fun year.
I mean, it is for me with the picks.
Fuck you.
Bye, guys.